So let's take a look at our menu and go to MRP, which is where we're going to find forecasts. Now there's a couple of simple ways to generate a forecast in SAP Business One. Both of them really require, unfortunately, that you have some history in SAP Business One before you can do it very effectively. So I don't really need to give it a code or anything to work on it here with you, except that they won't let me unless I do that, right? So we're going to just give it a kind of a test name here. Change this out of find mode into add mode. There we go. And it's already given me a date range, which is fine, and it's set to monthly. That's good. Now, I can just start looking for items and put them in manually, right? It'll just give me a list of items, and I can, choose one, put it in, and then I can fill out manually, what warehouse and all the months. Now, one of the things that's changed is that the forecasts can now be warehouse specific, and it used to not do that. It was always just general, right? If I don't put in a warehouse, then it's going to be, I'm looking at it for all the warehouses combined. So, but they also gave us an ability, and the first ability they gave us was to generate a basic forecast. And so this walks you through in a little wizard here. I want to select items by items. I also have the option of preferred vendor or default warehouse, right? So I'm going to do it by items, and we're just going to use all of our items in inventory. So I'll select the range here is what this allows me to do. And I'll just scroll to the last one in the system and select that one and choose. So we're going to be looking at all of our items. We only have in this demo database about 70 items. That's far less than most of you would certainly have in your inventory. So you may want to divide it up by groups and things of that nature, right? And we'll look at all item groups. I do have the ability to filter by some properties, inventory properties if I wish to. And I can generate the forecast for specific warehouses or not, right? So I can choose that I want to generate it for all of them in this case. And some advanced settings, I want to base it on sales history, right? And I can use deliveries or invoices or sales orders. Let's use deliveries. And well, I better use sales orders because I'm suspected in this demo system we don't have very many invoices. And I can use a simple average, or I can do monthly history. For our purpose, we're just going to choose a simple average today just to show you this process, right? And I can have a history start date. Now, one of the limitations of these simpler methods is that it only lets me pick 12 months, but it also has an advantage. It lets me pick a specific 12 months. So I happen to know that in our system, the best sales year happened to be 2014. So the first day is going to be 1/1/2014, and it's automatically going to give me the end of that range, right? So I can only have 12 months. Now, why it's only allowing me here to have 3 or 10 is interesting. I haven't seen that one before. Let me try something else just to see what happens. It still only wants me to have 10 months. So we'll take them at their word. There we go. And so I've put in all the parameters that it's going to allow me to do, and I'll click OK. It'll do a little bit of thinking, and then it will return that data to me. Right? So let me make this screen bigger so that you are sure to be able to see it well. And the reason it did that is because it would only give me 12 or 10 months. Here is because I put in this date range and started it in March. So it did correspondingly, that's what it did, March through December. So it's taken a look at the simple average, right? So it's taken the total sales for the year and it's divided it up by those number of months to say that's the total sales each month. That's a simple average, right? That probably isn't going to make most people pretty happy. So more than likely, if we ran it differently, I would be happier because I probably have some seasonality and things like that. And the simple average would be just a little too simple for me. So I'm going to do that whole thing again. We didn't save that one, so we can just try it one more way, right? And we'll use the same date range and monthly. There we go. And so I'm going to generate the forecast again, and I want to choose the basic one again, because there's another choice it's going to give me, right? Here we go. So we're going to select by items. We'll choose all of our items again. all the way to our last one in this case. And no properties, all the item groups. Let's double check to be sure all of our warehouses are still checked. They are. And those advanced settings, this is where I wanted to show you the difference. We'll base it on sales history. We'll use sales orders, but instead of the simple average, we can select a monthly history. And we'll start it again, the same time frame. And click OK. Now this time the answers that it comes up with will be significantly different, right? They're not a simple average. It actually looks at the specific sales that occurred in those months in the year 2014. And some months had no sales, and some only had 6. Some had as many as 31, right? 32. So all of that, you can see for each item, it's a little more in-depth look at my inventory requirements.